Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Telios. Welcome back to our verse-by-verse study on the book of Second Corinthians. We begin chapter 2 today. Paul has just finished explaining his desire to help the Corinthians and his good intentions through his suffering and his purity. And he determined not to visit them twice, is not to be too heavy-handed upon them. So we continue this line of thought as we begin chapter 2. Let's go to the text. But I was determined with myself that I would not come again to you in heaviness. Otherwise, he doesn't want to come overburdening them with, I guess, commands and his correction. And really, he's dealing with so much that there's a lot of tension between him and the Corinthians for a variety of reasons. He's had to correct them over the moral issues they've had there, the divisions and factions. They've challenged his authority. There have been miscommunications. There's false teachers there, and there's just a lack of discipline and among their Christian walk, so it seems. So he's had to try to correct this, and they haven't responded well completely. So there's that tension. Verse 2, for if I make you sorry, then that maketh me glad, for the same is made sorry by me. I wrote this same to you, lest when I come, I should have sorrow from them, whom I should rejoice, having confidence in you all, that this is my joy of you all. Otherwise, he should be having joy in them, and it's sorrow, and the relationship is not quite right. For out of much anguish in my heart I wrote to you of many tears, that you should not be grieved, but that you might know the love I have abundantly for you. So Paul expresses again his good intention and to have a good, positive relationship with uh, those to whom he ministers. And that's a good example to us. For those who minister, we have to strive for unity. It's a balance between mercy and truth, as it says in Proverbs 3:3. We bind this around our neck. We have to tell the truth, but we have to be merciful as well. And it's a hard balance. Forgive the sinner. So then he moves to a separate topic, it seems. But if any have caused grief, he hath not grieved me. For in part that I have not overcharged you all. Otherwise, again, he's not being a burden to them. If somebody's having a problem, it's, again, not grieving him. He's there to serve. Sufficient to such a man the punishment which was afflicted of many. So apparently there's some man in the Corinthian church who has done a great sin, and the congregation has punished him. Who is this man? We don't know. Some have surmised. It's from 1 Corinthians chapter 5, where one person in the congregation was having a incestuous relationship with his mother. So that, contrawise, you ought rather to forgive him, comfort him, lest perhaps such a one should be swallowed up with much sorrow. Okay, so if you've punished him, it's time to forget and move on and try to bring him in to fellowship and act in a normal way. Confirm your love towards him in verse 8. For this end I did write, that I might know the proof of you, whether you be obedient in all things. To whom you forgive anything, I also, for I forgive anything. To whom I forgive it for your sakes, it is in the person of Christ. So he's urging them to forgive as he forgives. We do this because our relationship with Christ. And he ends this by saying, lest Satan get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Otherwise, for somebody who's not forgiving, who has this relationship or this emotion that is apart from godliness, Satan uses that to get a foothold in their lives and to trip them up. I think actually similar wording is used for sexual lust. So perhaps there's a pattern here of Satan using emotions that are aberrant from godliness to cause a Christian to stumble in their faith. Okay, so what have we learned here? Again, a minister, pastor, anybody mentoring needs to tell the truth to the people whom they teach, yet it is also with mercy. The people under us whom we teach are going to sin. They're going to make mistakes, and we need to be willing to forgive, and we need to be willing to forgive in the body of Christ. Once somebody has been corrected, you have to forget about it and move on and make sure that person is in a solid, healthy relationship with people in the church so they might be built up. Forgiveness is so important. It's even been shown in at least one clinical study, the improvement of well-being in those people who forgive. So God knows us. He's wise. We need to be forgiving people. If not, we will stumble in our own faith and give Satan a chance to trip us up. So that forgiveness is very important. Now, does that mean if somebody has defrauded you that you go back and invest with them again? Or it was somebody with whom you loved and they cheated on you? If you forgive them, does that mean you go back in the relationship? No. But you do forgive them. That allows you to be free to move on with your life and do good things and not be burdened with that emotion. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. We'll continue with chapter 2 next time, talking about Christ is triumphant, and always a good thing, and perhaps a good way to end this section of the book. I'll see you next time.